New Brunswick's forest sector is critical to providing prosperity and employment to the province. And the thousands of New Brunswickers who work in the sector agree.
The jobs are good, the pay is well, and the community thrives on it.
Well, it's important to me for my livelihood because there's nowhere else in this area that I'd ever get a job, especially as good a job.
I look forward to someday. My son's gone to school right now to take steam and power fitting, and we'd like to see him come back here and work alongside of me.
I feel like I'm always growing right now, which I think is a big thing at 24.
Growing success begins with a tree. The science and research of tree improvement is connected to the management of a healthy growing forest, which is linked to a sustainable supply of fiber for the mills and value-added manufacturing. In fact, the forest industry in New Brunswick is an integrated value chain of people, communities, and products that all depend on each other.
We underestimate the far-reaching spread of how far around the world the products from New Brunswick go, and they originate right here in this city, the epicenter of forestry for the province of New Brunswick.
C'est également un ensemble de petites entreprises, de petites et moyennes entreprises qui fournissent des services, qui fournissent des produits. Alors il s'agit d'aller se promener dans la cour d'une de ces industries-là pour voir des camions, de voir des travailleurs, de petites PME.
It's nice to see the students get out of school and they go to work for the mills and stuff. That's a big asset to us too, and there is a lot of the students are staying here now after they graduate.
Our woods for us, they provide jobs. They also provide a lot of other things like recreation activities, very important.
It's important to me because it's my living. It's putting a roof over my head, food on my table, and right now it's educating my kids.
And it all begins with healthy forests on Crown land and private land, including woodlot owners, represented by 7 marketing boards throughout the province, and the nurseries that grow the forest of the future. Planning 80 years ahead, foresters are managing many values: water quality, fish and wildlife habitat, seedling production, scientific research, and planting the forest for the future.
Yeah, we got forests, so that's why we want to make sure that the jobs are there, and we want to keep them, and we want to be, and on the other way, we want to make sure that it's sustainable.
Renewable forests sustain jobs for over 1,000 harvesters and truckers, small business people throughout rural New Brunswick.
So there's the logging, the planting, the trucking, the road construction, all those jobs and all the spin-offs for the local contractors, local businesses, and then the regrowth of trees with the pre-commercial thinning, the planting, and all those activities to make sure that everything is sustainable.
The sustainable, renewable supply of logs go to the sawmills, which produce quality wood products for construction, pallets to move products, flooring, veneers for furniture, cedar products, wood shavings, biomass for energy, and wood chips for the next link in the chain, pulp and paper and packaging products. 100% of every tree used is creating jobs in New Brunswick. Pulp produced in New Brunswick is used to generate more jobs, making parent tissue rolls that generates even more jobs at home when made into consumer tissue products. And dissolving pulp made in New Brunswick is used to make many textile products.
All our product goes to India, it's converted into a rayon. So we're not in the paper business anymore, we're in the clothing business.
No other resource in New Brunswick generates as many jobs transforming the raw material, trees, into so many products made throughout New Brunswick. Good performance means being accountable in terms of the economic impact, the environment, and in the communities where the forestry workers live and are raising their families.
The Maritimes have a much more relaxed lifestyle. It's easier to find that work-life balance. My name is Sandra Rosso. I am from Colombia, and I made the Maritimes my home.
This is how I put food on the table. This is how I've clothed my kids, paid my house, paid my rent, whatsoever. It's my livelihood.
This mill is pretty important to me because I started here when I was 22 years of age, raised a family of 4, and hopefully I can retire doing this job.
I'm the 3rd generation out of 4. I have a son that works here too. My father worked here and my grandfather worked here.
This mill is keeping me here and close to my family, so that's important. Close to the family and enjoy the family to the max.
And what's really great about the Maritimes is at the end of the day, I only have to drive 20 minutes, and here I am at home with my horses, and I get to do the things I love.
A strong, vibrant forestry sector in our community goes directly to improving and creating jobs in dozens of other sectors.
What gets measured gets done. Each year, hundreds of forest audits are done by the Department of Natural Resources. Millions of acres are also audited under the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and the ISO 14001 program.
The company owners are proud to be managing the land the way we are, and they want to do the right thing. They want to make sure the environment's looked after, want to make sure jobs are created in the communities, and it just all follows through from there. And certification is a great way to make sure that we're meeting a bunch of those goals.
From seed to shelf, adding up to 35 times the value of the harvested tree, means our forests sustain over 20,000 jobs in villages, towns, and cities across New Brunswick. 85% in rural communities, generating over $2 billion in economic activity per year.
A lot of the people here do shop locally, and a lot of the money goes back into our local economy.
Ils viennent manger ici à Saint-Léonard, ils viennent dépenser de l'argent dans nos magasins, dans nos restaurants. Alors ça fait tourner l'économie, c'est très très bon.
It's important that we work with companies that want to live, develop, and do business in our province that are from here.
The forest industry always been the center of the activity in our very small community of Clare. We've been depending on that activities for the last 50 years.
Parce qu'on a au moins plus que 20 personnes qui travaillent pour la scierie chaleur. Puis c'est bon pour la région aussi parce qu'éventuellement l'argent se distribue dans la région.
The value chain starts from the forest to the sawmills, providing a sustainable supply of timber from Crown, industrial, and private woodlot operations to communities across New Brunswick. The value chain continues to the specialty product operations, which convert wood fiber and timber into consumer products for markets at home and abroad. From sawmill, forest, and woodlot operations, the value chain moves to the pulp and paper mills, and finally to top-level value-added manufacturing. New Brunswick is the most forest-dependent province in Canada in terms of jobs, and it's sitting on the doorstep of one of the largest consumer markets in the world.
And the province should really look into that and make sure that they have a plan to keep our forests sustainable and to make sure there's jobs there for our young people. We have to keep our young people here in New Brunswick.
I do enjoy working outdoors and being outdoors. Basically, the land base that we manage is my office.
Eh bien, on vit dans un coin de pays où la forêt est très, très importante avec un apport économique extraordinaire.
I'm living like 30 seconds away from my parents, and it's really nice because I never thought when I was young that I could have a good job in Clare or in the northern region.
The New Brunswick forest products industry today has more potential than it has ever had in its history. With emerging technologies, new products, a knowledge cluster of science and research, and new ventures to support and sustain the forest products value chain.
Mon grand-père a travaillé ici, mon père a travaillé ici. Présentement, moi, je travaille ici.
I love working here. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been here for 35 years.
I worked in Alberta, and I know what that life and the lifestyle and the towns are like out there, and I'm home. This is New Brunswick, and Sussex is home to me, and for me to be able to work, make a living, and employ people here, that's great.
pays excellent wages. These wages come into the community. They pay the mortgages, buy the groceries, pay the rents.
C'est pas dur à voir que Groupe Savoie, c'est la richesse de notre région.
And financially, it's helping me, you know, and my family. And working here, it's confidence in me.
And I'd definitely like to stay here in my home province. Having traveled out west before, I'm just happy to be home.
So we see the impact, the effect, the ripple effect, the spin-off effect, the economic impact in our community with everything from our farmers market on Saturdays to professionals in the city that benefit from the services that are offered because we have manufacturing.
And if we work together, we can really make this industry something more than it is now, and something more sustainable, and something that's going to create a lot more employment. Not a little more, but a lot more employment.
New Brunswick depends on the forest sector's potential, and New Brunswick communities are counting on that vision.